Welcome back to another episode of the UMB Footy Podcast. I am your host, Ulysses. Alongside with me, I have my co-host Matt and Beto. Round 2 is over, lads. Round 3 is here. Round 3 is currently happening. Man, what round 2 did we have? We had some great matches happen. Let's get right into it, lads. Any thoughts on round 2 before we go match by match?
There was a lot of good matches. I mean, a lot of upsets. I feel like still. I mean, we're still on that narrative upsets, and you know, at what point, like, do we stop doubting like the underdogs and start rooting for them? Because I feel like they're surprising a lot of people. Granted, they're playing a lesser, lower level of football than we might want or expect, but it's working out for them. So
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, I thought this round was maybe a little less entertaining or a little less exciting than round one, but it's still definitely lots of talking points. Can't wait to get into it.
All right. Let's start off with Group A: Mexico, South Korea, Czech, and South Africa. First match we had was the Czechia versus South Africa. That ended in a 1-1. Goal scored by Sadilek and from Czech, and a penalty in the 83rd minute for South Africa to tie it 1-1. Basically, at this point, sending South Africa home. And I think Czech still somewhat has life, I believe, if I'm correct. Anything you want to mention about that? They do have life, right?
They do. So they're on 1 point. Technically, both teams have life, although this would require South Africa to beat South Korea and then Czechia to also beat Mexico. So it could happen, but it is pretty unlikely. It was pretty nice to see South Africa get their goal finally. I was kind of under the impression, especially after the Mexico game, that they probably weren't even going to score a goal in this tournament. But they got theirs. But overall, it was a pretty disappointing performance in Czechia, if we're being honest. And I don't see them beating Mexico later. So I think Czechia and South Africa are both done, and this will probably be a group where only the top two go through.
All right. Then we get into the game that everybody was looking forward, I feel like, in this group. It was the Mexico versus South Korea. Oh, man, this game was hyped up on socials. People were saying it was the ramen versus the sopa marucha, the sake versus the tequila, the Korean barbecue versus the carne asada, bro. This was the game.
yeah,
And Mexico got handed a miracle from up above, bro. Literally came from up above. Ball drops to Romo, and all he has to do is just tap that in. The match ends 1-0 to Mexico, and man, it was not looking like anybody was going to get a goal in this match other than a few chances that both teams had. Unfortunately came down to a mistake from the keeper, and that's what ended up calling this match. Mexico was just kind of allowing South Korea to have that ball, letting them play with it, and just trying to kind of hit them in the counter. And it wasn't really working for them. They couldn't figure out where to attack from or how to break down this South Korean team because they were defensively sound. They knew where their weak spots were, and they were covering everything. A couple surprises we had from the starting 11, if I remember correctly. I think we had Luis Romo come in, and then they dropped Fidalgo. Fidalgo got benched for this game. We saw Alvarez come in at center back. I thought he had a great match.
yeah.
Man had a fucking chilena save on the line, bro.
Yeah.
Oh, Beto, anything you wanna mention of this match?
I mean, it's kind of the same thing like from the first game. I'm not too impressed. Like going forward, like we're gonna play some heavy hitters, and I'm just not impressed with the football they're playing. It seems like it's like toothless at times, and like there's no creativity. Like there's no one like dictating the play or like controlling the tempo. They don't have like that midfielder that can slow it down or speed it up the game. And up top, it could be just due to not getting enough service. Maybe that I think that could be a part of it, but we're just looking like toothless up there, and I'm starting to doubt our offense. The defense put in a shift. I mean, they held back the Koreans for 90 minutes, and they were looking dangerous too, so that was hard to do. So kudos to them. And with the machine coming in, that's an Alvarez. I think that changed our game a lot. I really like him. He's physical. He can pass. He's a leader in the back. I feel like that's something that this team also needed. Like was a leader, and I feel like he stepped up.
Yeah, no, for real. He went back there, and I liked his performance. I think he put in such a good performance that he can all possibly argue for that starting position
Oh yeah.
over Cesar Montes.
Oh yeah.
So it'll be exciting to see what we get later today and see who gets the start. Matt, anything you'd like to add real quick onto that game?
Yeah, I would love to just talk about Mexico for a second. So Mexico obviously have won both of their opening matches. They are the worst team to have won both of their opening matches. And it kind of sounds crazy to say that, right? Because
Hmm.
clean sheet in both games, right?
Yep.
And they look okay defensively. They look pretty sound defensively. But these offensive struggles are a little bit confusing almost. It makes no sense to me why they're not going for it a little bit more often. I mean, they kind of sat back and let South Korea have possession when they wanted to. Granted, they weren't able to really do much with it, but Mexico just does not look very good right now, and I am very concerned for them going into the knockout round. They need to figure out these offensive struggles quick and fast. If not, they're going to be in trouble, and they may not even make it to that Azteca game against England in the round of 16. So I think they need to figure out what's not working. Because even against South Africa, only 2 goals, and they scored one of them after they had already gone down to 10 men. I'm not buying into the Mexico hype. I think the home field advantage is kind of being turned into a myth at this point, and I don't really think it matters a whole lot, especially since South Korea were able to have the majority of the possession that they did. So yeah, I'm not buying into Mexico. I need to see a lot more from them tonight against Czechia.
All right.
Agreed.
So tonight we got Czechia. Do we think Memo gets his going away match? Do they start him? Do they bench him? What are your thoughts? Should they start Memo Ochoa?
I think they should. They've already clinched first place in the group, so why not? The game quite literally does not matter. You can't get any worse than first place in the group. So yeah, go ahead and start him. Go ahead and rotate the whole starting 11 for that fact.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, he's a legend. I mean, he's been there when we needed him most, and he surprised us a lot because I mean, um, just all the saves and like all the crazy. You don't expect that from him because you don't see it that often in a club at the club level. I mean, he has good performances, but like on the biggest stage where everyone's watching, he does it, and like that's what kind of like captured like the Mexican like I guess like it captured us fans. He's our wall in the back. He's our savior. Because I mean, there were a couple of times where he saved us and like helped us out and like man the match performances back there. Specifically, I remember one against Brazil where he just had like I don't know how many he had like
Yeah.
at least 10 saves
I
and
mean,
they were
for
all
a while,
crazy.
yeah, for a while, Memo Ochoa was kind of like that player for Mexico. He was the guy that kind of got us through that route where like nobody was really playing great, and like the only player that you kind of were looking forward to see was unfortunately the keeper, Memo Ochoa. Like
Hmm.
he was back there and he was just putting in a shift and doing as much as he could. So I think he should get the start. I think there's no need to bring him off the bench in the last 10 minutes when this match is mostly relevant, only kind of matters to get some more game time under some of these players' legs that are looking shaky, maybe some of those midfielders. Throw out La Hormiga out front, see what he could do for you,
Hmm.
and kind of let some of those guys come in and see what they got. So all right, lads, give me a match prediction for Mexico versus Czechia.
Mexico versus Czechia. I mean, we're gonna experiment. They're gonna. I mean, like you said, the match literally means nothing to us. So like, I think they're gonna experiment. They're gonna give players some playing time. We're gonna see maybe Gilberto Mora come on and do something for a little bit because he hasn't played too much. But I think Mexico is still their quality is still a little better than what Czechia has to offer. They haven't really um showed anything from what I've seen. So I think Mexico wins like 2-1.
I'll
Matt,
go with a 1-1 draw. I think Czechia has to win this game, by the way. So if they want to get through, they have to win this game. Mexico, meanwhile, has nothing to play for. But I'll go with a 1-1 draw. I think Czechia just aren't playing very well at all. Neither is Mexico, but Mexico should still be all right to at least get something out of it.
yeah, I give me Mexico a 2-1 win. We pull up for our South Korean brothers that pulled up for us back in the previous World Cup. We allow them to come through with us into the next group phase. We pat them on the back like they did to us in that previous World Cup. We do the job. I think we rotate the lineup a little bit, but nothing will get out of hand, and we will still come out with the result and take us into good form coming into the next round. All right. Give me a prediction for your South Africa versus South Korea match. Let's start with you, Matt.
Yeah, I'm gonna go. Both teams actually kind of need to win this game. I don't think South Korea really has the liberty to kind of sit back and hold this, because if they lose to South Africa and Czechia win, South Korea are eliminated. More likely than not. I mean, they'll have 3 points, so maybe they still get through as like one of the lower third place teams. But they both need to win this game. So I think South Korea is going to turn up in full force. They should play their starting 11. This is the perfect opportunity for Heung-min Son to finally show up at this World Cup. Every other star is doing it. Messi, Mbappe, even Ronaldo at this point. Heung-min Son's kind of the last one that we're waiting to really get going, so I think this is a good chance for him. Go ahead and give me 3-0 South Korea.
Beto?
I mean, I couldn't agree more. Like Heung-min Son has to show up. I mean, we've seen him do it, in England and Europe, and I mean, he needs to be the leader here. He needs to step up and show like the other teams that like Korea is a force to be reckoned with, because they do play good. I genuinely like watching them play. They play beautiful soccer, and I want to see them do well. And like Ulysses was saying, they're our brothers in arms. Now we create a lot of bonds with them in Mexico and in Korea and stuff. So I would love to see them go through, and I would love to see Heung-min Son play good. So I'm expecting like a 2-0, 3-0 win.
All right. You know what? I think South Korea gets the job done. I think they do their part. They beat South Africa. I think South Africa is just kind of down. I think they played themselves out of the tournament, basically. Their players just no discipline. I think they ended up getting a red card also this previous match. So just give me South Korea with a 3-1 win, and that'll be wraps. And South Korea will go through in second place because Mexico will do the job and beat Czech. All right. That takes us over then to Group B. Canada, Switzerland, Bosnia, and Qatar. Let's start off with this Switzerland 4-1 over Bosnia. You kind of expected them to get the job done. We got goals from Mazambi in the 74th and 90th. Vargas scored at the 84th, and then to cap it all off, we got Xhaka getting his penalty in the 90th minute. Matt, anything you'd like to point out about this match?
Yeah, granted, Xhaka's a loser for not giving Manzambi his hat trick. That was completely selfish. And totally ridiculous. So, granted, Xhaka, go ahead and take a long, hard look at yourself in the mirror, lad, because that was completely classless to not give your next up and coming wonder boy his hat trick, especially in a World Cup. It's priceless. So, granted, Xhaka, go ahead and put yourself in the bin, lad. But otherwise, yeah, Switzerland took too long to get going in this game. They didn't score their first goal until the 74th minute, and Manzambi had to come off as a sub anyways. So I think the substitutions that the Swiss coach made worked off really well for him. But at the same time, it took them way too long to get into this match. And I also thought Erman Mamic's goal for Bosnia was probably the most unnecessary banger to have ever been scored, maybe ever. Down 3-0, 93rd minute, and the dude just thunder cunts it into the top corner. So totally unnecessary, but a great goal to watch, great goal to look at. The goal difference really hurts Bosnia here, but I believe if they beat Qatar, they'll still get through anyways on 4 points. So shouldn't matter a whole lot for them. They should still be able to be fine and go through. But yeah, Switzerland, Granit Xhaka, totally classless lad, unbelievable.
No, yeah, there's the limited of players that have scored a hat trick in the World Cup, and to have the opportunity to basically in a platter to kind of give the lad his hat trick and say, "Nah, bro, let me put this away. This is my last one." Is kind of crazy. But Beto, anything you'd like to add onto this match?
No, I didn't really catch this match that much, but I mean, just seems like all the goals, like you were saying, came late, and that means either the first half was like either really boring or just like, I guess, like a defensive masterclass from both teams. But I mean, it seems like it was really boring. So I mean, good to know there was some
Yeah.
fireworks at the end and ended up with the fucking piss missile in the top corner. So I guess that's good.
Yeah. All right. Then that takes us over to our Canada versus Qatar match in Lumen Field, Seattle. Canada 6, Qatar 0. You think that was a great result, but unfortunately it came down to a injury that happened to Kone in the 57th minute. Oof, that was an ugly one for whoever was able to see that. And I'd like to mention is that was given as a yellow card.
Yeah.
The ref gave it as a yellow card. VAR had to come in and be like, "Nah, that's more than a yellow." And so that's Ismail Kone out for the tournament. Out for I think Fabrizio reported for 4 months, 3 to 4
Yeah,
months.
out for a while.
So probably won't see him back till maybe like next year, maybe early December. So we'll see how the lad recovers. But yeah, 6-0. Jonathan David got his hat trick. So way to recover, lad. After having a stinker in his previous match, comes in, shows out, scores a hat trick. Can't really ask for more redeeming match than that, can you?
No, that was really good showing from the Canadians. Jonathan David hat trick. Everybody's kind of firing on all cylinders. I was a little surprised to see both David and Kyle Larin start, but it worked out. They both scored goals. Canada looked extremely dominant in this game, and it really makes you wonder how the hell Qatar got a point off of Switzerland. But
Yeah.
total fluke game, I guess. But for this being Canada's first ever win at a World Cup, you really couldn't have asked for much more. So great performance from them. Qatar, absolutely be ashamed of yourselves. Julian Lopetegui, go ahead and be ashamed of yourself, lad. Getting fired up against Jesse Marsh, getting mad. Especially when your players are going in and doing that to Ismail Kone, breaking his leg essentially. Oh my God, go ahead and have some shame. I mean, that was unbelievable. The audacity of Julian Lopetegui to get upset after that game finished and to get mad after his players are just trying to kill every Canadian on that pitch. Unbelievable and completely disgraceful.
Yeah. Just quick update to what's happening live. Bosnia have scored against Qatar. Bosnia are 1-0 up currently. So that's probably going to be Qatar out of here. Anyways, sorry. Go ahead, Beto. Carry on.
Oh, not much to talk about this game. I mean, it was a dominant performance for Canada and Jonathan David. I mean, yeah, I think a lot of people were down on that for the first game, and because I think Larin came in and then he scored the only goal of the match last game, and everyone was down on Jonathan David because he's like, I mean, if it's not Alfonso Davies, he's the next star. He's the next big Canadian, and I think he came back with a dominant performance. All of his goals were pretty good. Like they weren't like freebies or anything. Like he had to work for them and place his shots pretty well. So I think it shows that he's gonna, and going forward in this tournament, he's gonna be in that Golden Boot race with the other stars we have.
Currently in 5th place on the Golden Boot race at the end of round 2.
But yeah, I mean, Canada got it
Banger
done.
from Bosnia, by the way. Banger from Bosnia.
Yeah. All right. Let's go into our round 3 fixtures. We have Switzerland versus Canada literally happening as we speak. I think Canada gets the job done. It looks like they rotated some of their players. Unsure on that, but I think Canada gets the job done and they end up coming home with the 3 points. Beto?
Yeah, no, Canada. I think this is the match to see who gets first place, right? So I mean, I think Canada gets it done. I don't know. I just like something about like the host nations making it through and the top of their groups is just, it feels right and it feels nice, and I think Canada will do it. They showed some class, and I mean Switzerland, they have some class too. It took them a little while to get started against Bosnia, so I don't know. Maybe Canada will capitalize on that and score early. Hopefully, you said it was like the 30th minute, so hopefully they score one here before the first half and make the game interesting. So
yeah, Matt.
Yeah, I think you guys are smoking crack. I think Switzerland wins this game easily. I'll go 3-0.
All right,
I am being dead serious. I don't think Canada's very good. I think Switzerland will probably do the same thing they did against Bosnia. They'll get one, and then the floodgates will probably open, and Canada will just be like, you know what, it doesn't matter anymore. We're already gonna go through anyways. So
No, you're putting a lot of trust behind them, Bolo.
We'll see you here next week, lad.
we
That's all I'm
will
gonna say.
see you next week, lad. And then give me 3-0 Bosnia.
That was wrong. Okay. Up next, we have Group C: Brazil, Morocco, Scotland, and Haiti. Let's start with Morocco versus Scotland. 1-0 to Morocco. Literally, we got a goal in the first minute, and that was it. That was the match, done and dusted. I think Morocco had a pretty good game. Morocco seemed to have dominated most of the match.
Morocco scored early in this game. Saibari got another goal, but Scotland just they had chances late. Scotland did have chances late, and they kind of grew. They took too long to grow into this game. It wasn't really until like the 80th minute where they finally started to get some chances. But Scotland's lack of finishing just really worries me. 1 goal against Haiti, no goals, and now they have to play Brazil tonight. Oh, I'm scared for them. And as much as I want the Tartan Army to go through, I'm scared for them. I really don't. I don't think they're going to be able to get it done.
It's a must win for them too, right? I mean, they have to win just to stay alive.
Yeah.
A draw doesn't do it, right? Because they're on 1, so they have to win.
They're on 3 because they did beat Haiti.
3. Sorry,
yeah, they're on 3.
So the goal difference matters a lot for them. So if they lose to Brazil, they can't get pumped. They have to keep it close if they're going to lose.
Yeah.
Beto, were you able to catch some of this?
Yeah, I mean,
anything you'd like to add?
This game, I watched the first half and then the second half. I mean, it's like Matt said, like the last like 20 minutes of the game, Scotland played really, really, really good. I mean, they were getting chances, and it just came down to finishing it, and everything they tried to do, everything to Scott McTominay. He was involved in every single play. He was involved in like almost every single shot. Most of the shots came from him. Him trying to dribble through like 4 Moroccans in the box, and it just seems like he's got no help. Like I don't know, like they don't have anybody on the bench coming out to help him. The other starters in the field, they weren't living up to their names, because I mean, Scotland has a good like starting XI. I think they have a pretty like formidable team, but it just didn't seem like it. It just seemed like everything was trying to go through Scott McTominay. So like, I mean, he was trying to pull up for them, but he just couldn't finish because he had to go through 5 Moroccans, because he was in the box always trying to shoot or dribble through somebody and then make some, but it wasn't working out.
Another goal has been scored from the Bosnia Qatar game. So Qatar, see you later, brother. It was nice having you.
2-0 Bosnia. It's an own goal actually off of a cross from Edin Dzeko. So yeah, go ahead and write off Qatar. It's 2-0 in the 35th minute. That'll be Bosnia going through, and they'll probably make up that goal difference from the Switzerland loss as well.
Yep.
Damn.
Hey, kind of like what they told you back in Rec League, bro. You put it in the box, something's gonna happen. Just put it in there. All right. Yeah, no, you know what? Now you guys were talking about it, it reminded me that this game was all Morocco until like 80th minute, 75th minute. It just kind of clicked for them, and they're like, "Oh shit, we kind of need to get in this match." And they were bringing it to fucking to Morocco. They were just hoofing balls in the box and saying Scott McTominay's in there somewhere. Let's get another scissor kick out of him. The motherfucker was up there trying to get one too.
Yeah,
he was reaching. I think I saw he kicked one of his players at one point trying to reach one of the balls. But yeah, no, they woke up too late. Kind of like Matt said. I think if they can't figure out how to get in matches a little bit earlier, it's gonna be worrying for them going forward. After that, we had Brazil, Haiti ended with 3-0 to Brazil. Kind of how we had thought it. We got a 2 from Mateus Cunha and 1 from Vinny Jr. I think, Matt, take us through the match.
Yeah, really not a whole lot to say here. In the sake of time, I'll keep it short. Brazil looked good as we expect them to. They dominated. Haiti had maybe a couple of chances in the second half, but they weren't able to score a goal. But yeah, this was Brazil dominance, and then also Rafinha picking up an injury. So
yeah, that's
something to keep your eyes out on is Rafinha, and dare we see Gabriel Martinelli start later?
Nope.
Oh my God, I hope not. It's total terrorismo. Worst case scenario.
Give me Hendrick or fucking Ryan over that guy, man.
Mm-hmm.
No, thank you.
I think reports have come out that Rafinha's injury isn't too bad. Rafinha stayed in camp. He's still camp with the Brazil national team. He has not come back to Barcelona, so the injury is not severe. He's trying to rest up and be there for I believe round of 16s. Round is when he's expected to be back, but I hate to see it from my Barca players to just get a knock in
Yep.
and keep trying to keep going. But like you understand it at the same time, it's a World Cup, man. Nobody's gonna sit one out. Nobody's gonna think about the future. Everybody's thinking of the now. I'm here. I'm at the World Cup. I gotta be there for my team. I think the change of bringing Cunha in worked. I think he was obviously the play to start Cunha over Mr. Igor Thiago is the one that started the previous match. Look, Brazil looked a lot better, but you kind of expected it against Haiti, so take that with a grain of salt. We'll see when they get a little bit tougher opponent, but Vinny Jr. having a good tournament.
Mhm.
He's showing up for Brazil.
Looks very good.
He's their guy. I mean, we all knew that going into this is gonna be him, the main guy. And
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, Cunha going into this made a big difference. I mean, granted, only one of the goals was a tap in. You know, this is a rebound. The other one,
Mhm.
he was, good smart play by him, shooting in a tight angle. But I don't know, Brazil. I think Brazil's gonna struggle because that's against Haiti. You know, just 3 goals
Mhm.
in the first half, and with that Brazil team, you need to score more. You need to make a statement. Like we talked about it the first game against Morocco. Like these are some big names. This is like one of the big people's favorites for the tournament. Like Brazil's gonna make it to the final. A lot of people have that
Mhm.
in their predictions, and
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not sold on it still.
Yeah. After that match, Haiti became the first team eliminated from the World Cup. Mathematically, they had no opportunity to go through. Um,
Feels bad.
and then yeah, feels bad. First team to get eliminated, but someone has to happen. I think that's out of the 4 teams, they're one of them. So we'll see who fills the rest because I believe total there's only 4 teams that get eliminated after these group stages, right? Because the best 12 go
First
through
Top 8.
top
go
8.
top
through.
8. Top 8. Oh, that's right. So it's top 8, and then the 4. It's total of 12. So 4 get eliminated. All right. That then takes us to round 3 fixtures. That is Scotland versus Brazil in the Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. I heard the Scottish are there drinking. I'm dry already. Reports are that they are running out of bev down there as well. All
Damn.
right. Beto, give us a preview for Scotland Brazil.
This is a big game for both of them. I mean, Brazil not only needs to make a statement, but if they want to get first place, they have to get 3 points here no matter what, and they hope that Morocco doesn't get a win. And Scotland, same thing. I mean, they need a win here if they want to go in more comfortably. If they want to go in as a third place team, you know, it's going to be a harder route. If they go in second place, it's looking a little bit easier. Might get an easier match the first round. But I don't know. I mean, it's hard to call it. They both have quality. Brazil on paper looks like the better team, but they haven't been playing like they look on paper. So I don't know. I think Scotland might want it more. I feel like this might be a draw. So this might be a 1-1 or a 2-2.
Okay. Brazil versus Scotland. I had Scotland as a dark horse going into this tournament, and I feel disappointed. I feel let down. I got on the Scott McTominay train, and I feel like I've been. The train never took off the station, bro.
Damn.
The train never left the station, and they are just not putting it together. Give me Brazil to just have their way with them with a 3-0 win. I think they don't find the net, and Brazil gets another victory. All right. Then that takes us to Australia versus Paraguay. And I want to take a second to share some pictures that we received from some some viewers from the podcast that was at that game. So let me put those up here. And
What stadium is that?
yeah.
That's a nice stadium.
I love that they do the flags. I think it's so
Yeah,
sick.
this is cool.
Yeah, so shout out to Adam Miguel and Angel for sending those over. You Group D, US, Australia, Turkey, and Paraguay. USA 2-0 over Australia
The
over
Socceroos.
the Socceroos. Socceroos were not able to get it done. The Socceroos came into this match thinking they had enough to beat USA. Unfortunately for them, the US was greater. And on Juneteenth, we got a goal from Mr. Alex Freeman. I think it was a goal line header off of a corner kick. Matt, let's take us through the match.
Yeah, US looked pretty good. They continued exactly where they picked up against Paraguay, and there was never really a doubt in this game. You know, they scored, I believe it was the 10th minute, first goal came, and then after that they just never really looked back. So looked pretty good. It was 2-0 going into halftime, and then they kind of just sat back a little bit more in the second half. I am very concerned still about the USA's depth. I think that will cost them against a tougher opponent. But they got first place. They went ahead and clinched first place. They got a little bit of help from Paraguay later in the day. But yeah, first place in the Group D for the USA. I didn't predict that, but certainly glad to see it nonetheless. So, yeah, good job for the USA. They can rest some players against Turkey now, and hopefully they'll be in a favorable path in the round of 32 and so on.
Well, let's see. I have some notes here. I think Pepe had a stinker. I don't like Pepe in left wing. He absolutely had a stinker. Throw somebody else there. Pepe does not play great at left wing. I couldn't even notice that he was playing sometimes. Vlad felt irrelevant in this match. I think he had like one or two opportunities / chances towards the end before he got pulled out, but I think Pepe had a stinker. I think we need to figure out something on that left hand side, but Pepe is not the answer. I think Christian Pulisic that's obviously his position, and hopefully he comes back for the knockouts. But I hated Pepe out there. I absolutely hated it.
Yeah, he didn't have a great game, but I'm not too worried about him. The guy scored 16 goals in the Eredivisie this season, so I think it was maybe just a one-off game. I'm not too worried about him. I think maybe his positioning is a little bit better suited as a central striker, but they definitely missed Pulisic, you know, for the time being. But Pulisic should be back at least for the knockout round. If not, probably wouldn't risk him against Turkey if he's battling a knock.
No.
So, yeah, I would say go ahead and give Pepe another chance against Turkey, and if he sinks it up again, yeah, back to the bench you go, lad.
Yeah, no. Dest, a right back, is having a better attacking performance at right wing than Pepe had at left wing, man. I mean, the goal that came in was a free kick set piece. It was a free kick on the right side of the field. It went straight to Dest. Dest banged that thing, but it hit a defender, popped up, and then Freeman was there to just kind of tap it in. And then the other goal was an old goal from Burgess after a cross that came in from Balogun. Second half came in. We had some substitutions. Balogun had a breakthrough. I think Jedi Robinson had a really good match over at left back. I think he was kind of their most creative player. The midfield was struggling, I think, to get creative at some points in the match. A lot of the play was coming through Jedi over on the left back side, and he was kind of being their more creative player at times. Valpato came in for the Aussies, and I feel like he kind of got himself into the match really well. He ended up being a little bit more of that creative outlet for this Australia team who was struggling, but they still didn't have enough to do the job.
Yeah, I think Australia completely got the starting lineup wrong. They took out almost every player that did something against Turkey, and I don't get it. I don't know why. So I think the coach has questions to answer, and he needs to get it right against Paraguay because that should be a very close game.
Yeah. 74th minute, we got Sebastian Berhalter come in for Ricardo Pepi. Nard, what do you think of Sebastian Berhalter's performance in the?
So he got extremely lucky that that penalty was not given. That was definitely a penalty.
Yeah.
And this guy, get the fuck off my national team, bro. We need to get the Berhalters out of the U.S. Soccer Federation. These guys have ran a reign of terror for way too long. If I see another Berhalter on my screen, I am going to lose my mind. These guys are terrible at what they do. So Sebastian Berhalter, I would love to see him never play another match for the USA. There's got to be some sort of corruption going on with Triple G at the top level of the U.S. Soccer Federation because there's no way Sebastian Berhalter is better than someone like Tanner Tessman, bro. It's unbelievable. I don't get it. This guy is not good. But for some reason, the Berhalter family seems to still have control over what happens in every game. And I swear to God, there has to be a gun to Pochettino's head saying, you have to play this guy or else something bad will happen or else you'll lose your job. So Pochettino, I feel like is probably just doing what he's told. But there's got to be someone high up at the U.S. Soccer Federation saying that this guy has to get minutes every game. And it's going to cost us at some point. Apologies, rant over, but I can't stand these guys. I cannot stand these guys. Triple G, worst coach the USA ever had. Sebastian Berhalter, awful player. Not good enough to make this squad. Don't know how he made it. He's come in both of the games we've played so far, and he's stunk the place up both times. He'll probably get a start against Turkey, and I wouldn't be surprised to see him just drop a world-class stinker and probably get hooked, hopefully get hooked, but I don't know. Who knows? I think there's something else going on at the U.S. Soccer Federation. I think that the Berhalter family still has some sort of control. I don't know if they've got dirt on someone. I don't know. Because Gio Reyna is being iced out of the squad again, by the way. This is happening again. The same thing happened in 2022. He came on late against Paraguay when they were already up 3-1. And he scored a goal. So, he's clearly okay, and he scored a very nice goal. It was a Trivela with the outside of his boot, and it was a very nice goal. So the guy can clearly still, play and contribute to this squad. And then he comes on in like the 95th, 96th minute in this match.
Yep.
Gio Reyna, I understand he's not had a great domestic career in the past 4 years. I get it, right? He's not getting the most consistent play time, and he's not playing at the highest level like he was 4 years ago with Dortmund. And even back then, he wasn't starting every week. So I get that Reyna's not having the greatest career trajectory, right? But at the same time, there's no excuse why if you had a game wrapped up and you have total control in the match by like the 60th, 70th minute, why Gio Reyna is not coming on over someone like Sebastian Berhalter. So I don't know. I think there's something fishy going on still at the top level of this federation. I wouldn't be surprised if it gets revealed later on that Triple G is still pulling the strings behind the scenes. But this shit just pisses me off to an unbelievable amount, and it's going to cost us at some point in this tournament. I guarantee it.
Damn.
All right. Tell us how you feel.
For real. Not rage bait, by the way. That's how he actually feels.
No, and that's the thing is this is not rage bait at all. This is not like clip farming. This is not rage bait. This is a serious, genuine thing. This is genuinely how I feel about it.
I can vouch.
This is true. This is we get this rant pretty often. Turkey. Turkey,
no.
Our second team eliminated.
Oh no.
Once again, Turkey does what Turkey does and just disappoints everybody. Everybody brought this in as like, the golden generation of Turkey possibly. They have lots of great youngsters coming through and just cannot get it done. Cannot figure it out for the life of them. Turkey lose 1-0 to Paraguay. And man, they could not figure it out. They have so much talent, so much creativeness in that team, but just cannot piece it together. Cannot make them play together and play as one. Beto, you want to take us through this one?
Yeah, I mean, just kind of like we said the first game, they're disappointing. They're not living up to their expectations. I think the team is majority, like you said, the majority of them is young. There's some experience mixed in there, but I just they're not playing how they should be. They're not playing right. Like, I think at the end of the Paraguay game, they were just like huffing stuff up top and hoping something would happen. Like, I understand, like you need to win, you need to score, but somebody to take control of the game. And like Arthur Gruller wasn't doing it. Unfortunately, Kenan Yildiz wasn't doing it. I don't know. Like, I don't know if it's like the pressure or the ego, like having to match like what they say like before the game, or like the walk the walk. Like they say they're gonna dominate and play good. That's what they thought about the New Zealand game, and they came out and stunk it up. So I don't know. I don't. This Turkey team, I was not too impressed. I wasn't impressed with them going the beginning of the tournament, but now it just kind of confirms it. I'm not impressed at all.
Yeah, I'll just hold my hands up and say I was wrong. I predicted Turkey to win the group, and they went out and disappointed to levels never seen before. If I was those Turkey A players, I would be terrified to step foot back in my own country.
Oh,
Those
man.
guys are going to get crucified when they land back in Turkey, and especially when you saw the send off that they had. Oh my God!
Oh yeah.
They is unparalleled amounts of shame for those guys. So they did it to themselves though. But I also think Arda Güler is getting a little too much hate. I think he was honestly the only one in both games that was actually trying to do something. He wasn't doing very well, obviously, but I think he was one of the only ones that was actually trying to create. And he was getting to that point where he was like, okay, I have to do this myself if we're gonna score a goal. And I thought he was trying. I think he's getting a little too much hate though.
Question to you: do you think he didn't know that he had to do it himself coming in? He's a Real Madrid player, the kind of the most expensive Turkey player I think in history. Why would he not come in thinking already? I have to do this myself. I have to pull the strings. It's his team.
So he's obviously skill wise probably Turkey's best player, right? The kid. Hold on, let me pull up. How old is he?
I think
21?
20,
He's
20,
21. Okay, this
21.
guy's 21. All right, this is his first World Cup. Is this actually his first major
No,
tournament?
no,
I
he
can't
was
remember if
at
he
the
played.
he was at the Euros. The Euros is what got him to move to Madrid.
That's right. So he was at the Euros last time. So I'm going to say no to your question purely because his teammates are not bums. His teammates also play at a high level. Hakan Çalhanoğlu has been one of the best midfielders in the Serie A for a long time now. This guy is not a bum. And if you look at who else is in that lineup, Kenan Yildiz is the same kind of young superstar, supposed to be wonder kid talent. This guy had heaps of hype like 2-3 years ago, and he's turned into a total bum. So I don't know. I think there's a lot of the blame falls on his teammates more than maybe himself. Obviously, he didn't have a great tournament, but at the same time, people are just forcing hate onto Arda Güler and scapegoating him when the rest of his team, who also play at a high level, and let's not forget that the Turkish Super League is still close to a top league in Europe. I believe the UEFA coefficient ranking has them at like 7 or 8. So they're not far away from being on the same level as like a Ligue 1 or even a Serie A now. But the Turkey A team as a whole have to look at themselves. This is not Arda Güler's fault entirely that they didn't score a goal or they didn't play well. They had 62 shots in 2 games. And they weren't really even getting goalkeeper. They were just taking bad shots. And Arda Güler was kind of the main culprit for that. I'll give him that. But at the same time, Ektor Koglu, a horrific generational stinker in both games. Kenan Yildiz, horrific generational stinker in both games. Hakan Çalhanoğlu, generational stinker in both games. And it goes on and on and on. And Vincenzo Montella has a lot of blame, I think, as well, for the way that he's setting up his team, because they're not able to break down a low block. And it's almost like they look uncomfortable having to control the possession and control the ball. But I don't know. I think, no, Arda Güler should not be the one getting the majority of this hate because his teammates are also letting the team down. It's not just his fault.
Oh, I'm not just saying it's significantly his fault, but I think to kind of like say he has no blame in this when he's supposed to be the 10, he's supposed to be the creative outlet that they need, that they use to kind of break down these low blocks. When they were playing against 10 men, by the way, for an entire 45 minutes, to not score is outrageous. It is absolutely outrageous.
But at the same time, if you're relying on one player to do everything for you, you're not going to get far, right? And this is the case with countries and clubs throughout the story of football, right? You can't just rely on one player. There are 10 other players on that pitch that have the same amount of responsibility as you to go ahead and do something, make something happen. So I get the Arda Güler, and I'm not saying that Arda Güler is totally, not to blame for this. Absolutely, he didn't play well enough at all. I'm not denying that. he definitely didn't have the tournament and the performances that he should have, right? That we expected him to. But at the same time, his teammates are just as much his fault for me. Because these guys are not bums. They play at a high level too. Everyone needs to be held accountable, not just Arda
Yeah,
Güler.
that's fair. I'll give you that one. Yeah, no, because Yoda's got what? 6 shots, 1 on target. 2 shots blocked. Arda Güler was put up 3 shots, 2 shots blocked, 1 offsides. Oh man. Oh, that's this Turkey team done and dusted. Hakan Çalhanoğlu. Nice knowing you, bud. Probably won't be here for the next one. But yeah, that brings us over to the round 3 fixtures. Turkey versus USA. Matt, kick us off.
Yeah, game doesn't matter for the U.S. I think they'll rotate pretty much all 11 players. I think Turkey will probably win this game. Give me 1-0.
Yeah, I mean, USA is gonna not play their full starting 11, and Turkey, I don't know if they have the fight left in them, so I don't know. It's USA probably like 2-0 or something.
Yeah, no, give me US winning this match, but like Matt mentioned, the US will rotate their team. They have no need to put out the starters. I think Berhalter will be starting, and we'll see a whole bunch of game time from him. Hopefully, Pepe comes in and can look a lot better. Maybe playing that central position because he's not benching Balogun.
Yeah.
Right now, the way he's playing. Excited to see Gio Reyna go out and hopefully have a decent performance.
Not too fast. Not too fast. They're gonna put him on the bench again. I'm telling you right now, Gio Reyna is not gonna start this game. But all that bullshit aside, I would like to see Haji Wright get some game time. I would like to see Timothy Weah play a little bit more, and maybe even like Zendejas as well. So
yeah.
But also, I think Turkey's going to win this game. I should say, because you guys both predicted the U.S. I think Turkey's going to win this game because even though they've had an embarrassment the last 2 games, they will have seen the media. They will have seen all the news and stuff about how poorly they've played. They have a chance to still play for pride, and that counts for something. You can't, I understand you totally failed expectations, right? But you still have a chance to do one more thing before you leave. You have a chance to say, okay, well, we still won a match at the World Cup. First World Cup for them in 24 years. I think they still will play for pride, and they won't just totally give up like people think they will. But yeah,
no, I don't think they give up. I just think that the U.S. will still have enough to get it done. They'll have enough to go out there with. It might be a little close match. I don't think anybody will kind of run away with it, but we'll see. That takes us then into Group E with Germany, Ivory Coast, Ecuador, and Curacao. Paraguay versus Australia. This is a second place match. Whoever wins here gets through with second place. I think I want to get on the Socceroo hype. I want the Socceroos to win. We know Paraguay is going to bring that Conmebol game style out. They're going to sit in the low block and try to hit you on the counter. I think the Socceroos have enough to beat Paraguay, and give me a 2-1 win with a 90th minute goal from Australia. Beto?
I don't know. I kind of want to go for Paraguay here. I like how they play a little bit. They weren't like super strong, dominant performances, but I feel like they still have talent and quality. They had 2 games against like some tough opponents. I think they can figure it out and maybe get the win over here, Australia. So I think Paraguay 2-0.
For me, no Miguel Almiron is what's going to be. That's going to be what loses them the tournament. That is their best player getting one of the most foolish red cards I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
You can no longer cover your mouth, which we'll get to in a bit. Jude Bellingham did it against Ghana yesterday. Jude Bellingham got away with it. So there's a little bit of inconsistency here, but that we'll get to that a little bit later. But yeah, I think no Miguel Almiron is going to be a huge hindrance for Paraguay, and Australia should get their lineup right again, and they'll be fine. I'll go through and continue to get both goals. I'll go 2-1.
Yep. Switching over to Group E, we got Germany, Ivory Coast, Ecuador, and Curacao. We had Germany 2-1 versus Ivory Coast. It was a close match, like we said it would be. There was no blowout. It took it took all the way to the 90th minute.
Yeah, Ivory Coast was up early on, and then it looked like Germany didn't have an answer. I mean, it looked like they tried some stuff out, and I don't know. This Florian Wirtz wasn't doing anything. Kai Havertz wasn't doing anything. João Musiala was trying to dribble through everybody and get some shots, and it wasn't working. Just like the Ivory Coast defense was strong. I liked what I saw. Like they put in a really good performance, and it's kind of a shame that they let those goals go in. I think it's just like maybe a lapse of marking. Because I think I think it was a left back for the first goal. He kept them barely onside. He wasn't I guess watching his line. And I think that lapse of judgment kind of just like opened it up a little bit for Germany. Like, okay, look, we can score now. Let's keep pushing. Let's keep pushing. And they got their 90th minute goal. The same guy, Denis Undav. I mean, kudos to him. Both times off the bench and scoring goals. I don't know if he'll start over Kai Havertz. I think that they valued Kai Havertz a little too highly to give him a starting spot. You have somebody that can come off the bench and make a difference. And I was kind of sad to see Ivory Coast lose because they're my dark horse for the tournament, and they were proving it because they scored early on and they had the match for the majority of the match. They were superior, but Germany got it done.
Yeah, I think Nico Schlotterbeck injury, by the way, he's out for the rest of the tournament. So I think that's a pretty big loss for Germany. They're gonna have to rely on Antonio Rudiger now, which is still a good replacement.
Yeah, not a bad guy to rely on. Yeah.
My heart breaks for Ivory Coast, but also Simon Adigra. What are you doing? He did not shoot the ball, and I believe it was the 92nd minute. He has a one-on-one chance to just slot it past the keeper, and he doesn't shoot. He takes an extra touch, and then Germany go down the other way and score and win the game. So Ivory Coast very easily could have won this game. We could totally be talking about a 2-1 for the Côte d'Ivoire, but instead 2-1 Germany. But I think Ivory Coast will be fine. They get Curacao in the last game. I think they'll be all right.
Yeah, I think Diamande has struggled a little bit. He played on this on the left hand side opposed to the right where he did the first match, and I think he looked better on the right wing than he did on the left wing. Something about cutting in. He felt like he was chopping in, but then he was met with like another 2-3 players and just kind of recycled the ball at that point. Kimmich had enough to get it done as well with Mecha. I think Mecha is having a really good tournament.
Oh yeah.
And Mecha has been playing great. You see him everywhere on the pitch, dude.
Yeah.
He's at the top of the box and they're breaking on a counter, and then Mecha is there recovering the ball.
Yeah.
He has had a great tournament. I think this is he got an assist his first game, and then he got an assist this match as well. He's having a really good tournament.
Scored the first game too.
Scored the first game too. Might be on for a move this summer if he keeps playing the way he does.
Yeah.
Currently playing at Borussia Dortmund, but we all know that Dortmund is just
they're a factory. They're a factory to create talent.
We'll produce them. Just pay me for it. Excited to see what Mechek does in the rest of this tournament. Just wanted to point that out. And then we move on to Ecuador versus Curacao. Oh, Valencia. Another fucking stinker, bro. Just so unfortunate. Curacao gets the job done. Perfect 10 rating for the keeper.
Yep.
Insane. Absolute insane game. He had a total of how many saves? 15 saves. He received 15 shots.
The most ever in a 90-minute World Cup match, by the way.
Yeah. Out here making history in the ripe age of fucking, what is he? How is he? 37. 37 years old, creating history. I think he plays in like a second division, Miami FC. Yeah. The championship. So we love to see that from him. I'm sure this is something that he will never forget and his kids will never forget, and great for the family. I think it's amazing to have this opportunity. I think that's what I'm kind of enjoying about this World Cup. We have these lower nations, but they're coming in. They're giving us entertainment, man. They're giving us games. They're having us enjoy these storylines. You would have never known about this 37-year-old keeper that plays in Miami, unless it was a World Cup, baby. And so I think that's great. Valencia had a stinker once again. To be expected. We called it here. We said that he cannot be starting in this team and expect victories.
I didn't watch this match, so I don't
Oh,
have a whole lot to say. But I'll repeat what I echoed last episode. Kevin Rodriguez cannot be worse than Ender Valencia. I don't know. I don't know what the guy has to do to get picked, but I refuse to believe this guy is worse than Ender Valencia, and I think it's time for Unk to pack it up.
yeah, Ung for sure has to pack it up.
Absolute stinker, man.
Beto, any additions for this one?
Just gonna keep shitting on the man. Ender Valencia, what are you doing? Like a 1-on-1, like literally the first chance of the game. I think it was like 5 minutes in.
Yeah.
1-on-1, the keeper just can't bury it. Hits it right
Yeah.
at him. It's literally right at him and just goes out wide. And just like, bro, what are you doing? And then he gets like another like cross. I think it was, I forgot what minute exactly it was, but another cross in 1-on-1. All you gotta do is tap it in. Like it's easy for a striker that's played in the. He's played in the Prem. He's been at some decent teams. He scored some good goals in the. I don't know if it was 2018 or 2022. He scored the first World Cup goal and it was good. I mean, he's a striker. He has that experience. Like, what are you doing, man? Like, the coach needs to look at this game and be like, all right, I need to bench this guy because he's not producing, and you need to produce his next game if you want to stay alive. So
yeah, this is a be all end all. But let's see, that leaves the standings with Germany with 6 points, confirmed to go through the next stage, confirmed to win their group. Cote d'Ivoire with 3 points, Ecuador with 1, and Curacao with 1. They still have life. Curacao has life, to get out and do something. So we'll love to see that. Then that takes us to the round 3 fixtures. Ecuador versus Germany. I think Germany's going to rotate their team, but Ecuador still won't have enough to get it done. Germany's still going to go out there and win. I think they're the biggest disappointment in the CONMEBOL so far from what we have. Everybody else seems to be playing, seems to come out. Even Paraguay is having some matches to be enjoyed, and Ecuador's just having a stinker, man. They are, I think, the disappointments from that group. Give me a 3-0 from Germany. Beto?
yeah, I mean, Germany definitely has better quality, and like even if they don't play their starting 11, their bench is still pretty like formidable. I mean, we saw it. The first goal from Germany against Ivory Coast came from 2 bench players. So I don't know. I mean, I think it's gonna be a hard game for them, but I don't know. I kind of think Ecuador figures it out here. If they take Ender Valencia out and maybe give someone else a chance, or if Ender Valencia magically starts to score goals, I think Ecuador can have a fighting chance. So I kind of think Ecuador will win 1-0.
Yeah, I think Germany will win 2-0, but Ecuador could put up a little bit more of a fight. I wouldn't be too surprised to see that. And then in the other game, I think Ivory Coast will be totally fine. I think they'll win 2-3-0 against Curacao. And also another update: it is 2-0 Switzerland.
Oof.
With Briel and Bolo scoring the second goal. So the game's not over yet. It is only, I believe, the 57th minute. So
hey, Alfonso Davies is looking like, bro, put me in, coach. Put me in, coach. Let me go in there. Because I think if, like we mentioned, if that stays, then currently Switzerland goes through first place, Canada second, and Bosnia is in third.
Yeah. But to recap, I'll go Germany. Germany with 9 points, obviously first place, and then I'll say Ivory Coast get 6, and then they go through in second. I think neither Ecuador or Curacao get out of the group.
Oof. All right. Then that takes us over to Curacao versus Ivory Coast. Matt kind of touched on it a little bit, but I think Ivory Coast ends up winning this match and then breaking the hearts of Curacao. But they'll come out, they'll try to have a low block and defend and try to get through, but I don't think it'll be enough. And Diamande hopefully finally scores in this tournament.
Yep.
It shows out, so we'll see. Beto?
I think Ivory Coast is going to get it done. Curacao, they had some memorable performances from their goalie, and like you said, like it's entertaining. We're hearing about these people that don't usually pop up, and like they're having good performances. And no, Ivory Coast is gonna win it. I mean, it's gonna be like 2-3-0. So,
all right, now we go on to Group F: Netherlands, Japan, Sweden, and Tunisia. We started off with the Netherlands 5-1 over Sweden. Matt was right. Matt was right.
Yeah, Sweden are not a good team. I don't know why people bought into the hype. Tunisia might be the worst team to ever play in a World Cup. These guys are on pace to become one of the worst teams to ever play in the World Cup. But yeah, I think Sweden are completely overhyped. I think Japan will beat them in the last day as well.
Wow. All right. Beto, anything you'd like to add on this Netherlands Sweden match?
I
You
mean,
saw?
it was just a massacre. I mean, Sweden had no answers for
Yeah.
The Dutch. I mean, nothing. I mean, there's like Matt said. I mean, they. I wouldn't say it's the worst team. I think it's just a team that's not performing as well as they should be. It's not the only team we've seen do that. So I mean, I don't know. Maybe they can figure something out because they have talent. They have players of quality. I think it just depends on if they can get their heads out of their asses and play good. But I don't know. It was a complete stinker by Sweden. The Dutch freaking ran circles around them.
Yeah. A little quick note. I believe that Sweden became the first team in the World Cup history to win a game by 4 or more goals and then lose by 4 or more in the very next match in the same tournament. So kudos to Matt for calling it. I tip my hat to you, sir. You were on with that one, and then that takes over to Japan 4-0 over Tunisia.
Expected.
Ah, what else would you expect? You fire your coach. People have said that it was obviously to then look forward to the AFCON and see what you have for the AFCON, but I think that's still not a right reason to get rid of the lad and bring in somebody else in the middle of this tournament. You still got spanked 4-0 by Japan, and Kubo did not make it. I'm glad to see that Japan still had a good game without him. Any quick points from you lads?
Nah, that Japan looked they did exactly what they should have done, and that's just beat up on a terrible time. So I think they'll be fine. I think they'll beat Sweden, sorry, as well in the final match. Also, quick correction: the Swiss second goal was Johan Manzambi again instead of
Mm.
Mbolo. So quick correction on myself, got that wrong.
All right, round 3 fixtures: Japan versus Sweden. Matt already predicted that Japan wins this group and beats up on Sweden. I think Sweden will have a little bit closer of a match. I think they will not get beat up on badly. I think Japan wins it overall though with a 3-1, but at least we got to see what Jokeres and Isak could have been in a world of imagination. Beto.
Yeah, I think it might be. I think Japan's gonna want to win it, but Sweden's gonna want to go in and win it too. So I think it's gonna be a close game. I think we get a draw here, Loki. I think it's gonna be 1-1.
1-1. All right. Matt already mentioned that they will get beat up on. So let's go ahead and jump on to the next. Next up, we have Group G: Belgium, Egypt, Iran, and New Zealand. Belgium draw 0-0 versus Iran, bro. What are we
Holy
doing?
stinker!
Yep.
What are we doing there?
I think I kind of want to touch on. Are you guys familiar with the drama around Jeremy Doku
Yes,
being
yes,
gone from the camp to go see his firstborn child?
Hey, I can
yes.
respect that.
He is getting a shitload of hate
He
for
is.
that.
I
This
don't know
guy
why.
is getting crucified for leaving the Belgian squad, and then apparently he was sick even before he left to go
Mm,
to go be with his kids, so that's why he didn't allegedly play in this match. But man, did they miss him? They missed him big time in this match.
yeah. Um, I think they're putting all the blame on him when this Belgian team could not figure it out without him. I think what he did was right. You the game is not forever, lad. You will play and your time will come to an end like we've seen with other stars, but your child it will be there forever. Your loved one will be there forever, hopefully for
Hmm.
him. Um and it's a once in a lifetime opportunity to see your child be born. So I think that there's nothing wrong with him choosing his family over the game. We love the game, we love the beautiful game, but at the end of the day, it's just a game. It's just footy,
Yeah.
and everybody has a family. He's still human. Your parlays are not as important to him as his family is. So
Yeah.
take some mercy on the guy. Iran have pulled up a absolute great match against the Belgium team. The keeper produced 7 saves, ended up getting man of the match. Obviously, kept them aside, and Lukaku pulls up with a stinker of a 5.9 rating, bro. Oof.
Used to
It's the
that.
duality of Lukaku. Sometimes he creates the goals like he did against Egypt, and sometimes he just does a whole lot of nothing. It's duality of Lukaku right there.
Sometimes maybe good, sometimes maybe shit.
Yeah.
Sometimes Lukaku, sometimes Lakaka. You never know.
Yeah, true. All right, and then that takes us over to the Egypt versus New Zealand game. That was a fun watch. I enjoyed watching that match. Ends 3-1, Egypt's favor. Mohamed Salah's second goal, I think, was a beauty. I think they played it nicely and then ended up just hitting the ones you see him hit for Liverpool time in and time out, just on that bottom left corner curler. Nobody could reach. He ended up playing that 10 again, and it ended up working. It ended up being kind of like a 4-4-2 at times when they were off the ball. And Mohamed Salah was right, kind of like a little bit off of maybe like a false nine type of, with Marmoush playing that striker position, and I think Zico had a really good match as well. But yeah, Matt, anything you'd like to mention on this?
Yeah, this was a really entertaining match, but I was just upset New Zealand couldn't hold on for the win. I thought they looked good in the first half, but they just couldn't deal with Egypt's pressing
Mm-hmm.
and just raw talent, speed, especially the speed killed them. But the Salah goal was so nice. I mean, it was just like the classic Salah goal at Liverpool too, where it's just like a classic 1-2 interchange at the top of the 18, and he's getting fed by his teammates beautifully. He's got great chemistry with his teammates here at the national team. You can tell as well. But that was a beautiful goal. I loved it so much. But Egypt deserved the win. They deserved the win. New Zealand went out ahead. They had a lead for a little bit, but yeah, Egypt comes back and deservedly gets the win. But this
Yeah.
group is shaping up to be a very entertaining final match day because everyone is still alive. No one's clinched.
Nope.
And no one is eliminated yet.
All right. And that takes us over to round 3 fixtures. Egypt versus Iran, like I just mentioned. I think Egypt gets the job done. I think Iran comes with the low block, try to replicate what they did against Belgium, but I think it ultimately will not succeed. I think Egypt will figure it out. The chemistry that Mohamed Salah has with his teammates is just too great. Marmoush might get his goal and in this one finally as well. So give me a 1-0 for Egypt over Iran.
Yeah, I like Egypt as well. I'll go ahead and give them a 2-0. I think they look really good right now.
Beto.
Yeah, I agree. Egypt's gonna get it done against Iran. Iran, I don't think they have an answer for Mohamed Salah.
And then that takes us over to New Zealand versus Belgium. Can the Belgium team finally get it done? I think if we are looking at it, they are they yet to score? No, they
They
have
scored
scored.
against
They just drew.
Egypt,
Yeah. All right. So that takes us over New Zealand versus Belgium.
although it was technically an own goal. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
So technically,
you can say they haven't really scored yet.
yeah, it was all goal, not given to them. New Zealand versus Belgium. I think I like Belgium just a little bit more. Doku will come in, he'll score a goal, and then he'll do the little thing for his baby and dedicate it to his child. And I think it'll be cinema, and everybody will forget that he left them. So give me Belgium over New Zealand on this match.
Yeah, no, I mean I agree. I think Belgium, this is do or die for them. They have to perform here. They have to pull up because even a draw, if they draw it for the third time, I don't think a draw's enough. I mean, I don't know. They're leaving it to chance at that point. I would have to go through all the groups and look at all the other third place teams, but they have to win. Not only just to get to the next round, but they have to win just to prove to people that they can still compete. Because like other teams are gonna look at them and be like, "Yo, this is fodder." Like we're playing Belgium. They
Mm-hmm.
couldn't score against. They couldn't score against Iran, and they draw against New Zealand. They couldn't score against New Zealand. Like I don't know, but Belgium has to win. This is do or die. Like if they want to be like a team that can make a deep run, they have to perform here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think Belgium. This kind of sounds a little cliche, but I think Belgium is too good not to go through. So I
Yeah.
think New Zealand should be beatable for them, and I think they'll play with an intensity that we haven't seen yet. So yeah, go ahead and give me Belgium. I'll go 2-1. I think New Zealand maybe keeps it a little close, but I'll go 2-1 Belgium.
Yeah. All right. So then that takes us over then to Group H. Group H is Spain, Cape Verde, Saudi Arabia, and Uruguay. Spain kicked us off with a 4-0 win over Saudi Arabia. Took them a minute to kind of get into the match. And by a minute, I mean in the 10th minute, we got Lamine Yamal getting his goal. Came from across from Ordia left wide side, and he just slid and tapped it in. But I think he had a great 45 minutes. I think Lamine Yamal came in, pulled up, said, "All right, job's done. I'm gonna hit the bench." He's still coming off of an injury, so maybe he
Yeah,
was limited to just those 45 minutes, or they just realized, hey, we have the 3-0
yeah,
lead going into the half. We don't need to risk Lamine Yamal anymore. Come sit down. We saw Ferran Torres go get ruled off, and I don't know if you guys caught it or caught the match, but when the camera panned to him, it looked like he was like, "Please be a goal, please be a
yeah,
goal," and it kind of breaks my heart to see him kind of be so down because he has gotten a lot of hate and in the past, and I think he kind of needed that one. Hopefully the lad's not chalked and he's doing all right. But Spain came out. They came from a shutout and came and put four past Saudi Arabia, showing that they can finish. They can put them away, but I think ultimately it's Saudi Arabia. It's not a France. It's not a Germany. It's kind of take it with a grain of salt. You got 4 goals, but we'll see. Matt.
Yeah, I thought Spain obviously looked dominant in here. I don't really think there's a whole lot to say. Saudi Arabia just didn't have it like they did against Uruguay. But
yeah.
yeah, Spain dominant. Lamine Yamal, superstar.
Yep. Lamine Yamal. I mean, what? It took him 10 minutes, and people were doubting him because he came out and had a stinker performance for the last 15, 20 minutes of the last game against Cape Verde. And I mean, he proved. I think he proved some haters wrong because I mean, he's playing on the wing, and we saw what Spain had to try to do last week with the wingers, and like Lamine Yamal just brings a different aspect to the game. He's taking those
Mhm.
chances. He's taking those 1v1s. He's creating space. He's pulling defenders. He's making space for teammates, and I think that that's so valuable. Like on any team, like you put Lamine Yamal on any team, and I that team becomes exponentially greater. And I mean, not only that, he took 5 shots, and Aurier also had 5 shots. So he's trying to shoot. He's trying to score. He wants to get in there. And I didn't see that from Baena, and then the people that got subbed in. It's kind of sad to see. They kind of put up a stinker. The Spanish subs. I didn't like how they played. It's kind of scary. Like if someone gets injured if De La Fuente makes any subs, I'm kind of scared for this team if they ever get to that point, like later on the rounds, they go like into extra time and they got to bring these players on. I don't trust them. I think the starting XI is like barely strong as it is. You know, there's some weak points, but the defense hasn't really been tested either. But the defense is looking great. Haven't really had a great test. Maybe with a while we'll test it out some more. But Spain is looking way better than they did the first game.
Yeah. Uh, all right. Then that takes us over to the next match: Uruguay versus Cape Verde. Cape Verde comes out with a point. Nobody expected it. Nobody thought they could get it done, and they come out and they get their point, man. It was a very kind of end-to-end match. Cape Verde got their first goal. I can't remember what goal it was, but it was off of a Muslera mistake.
Yeah,
Was it
yeah.
the first goal
No,
or was it the second?
The second
it was
goal.
it
The
was like
second goal.
yeah,
Yeah, so ends in a 2-2 draw. Going into the half, Uruguay went with a lead into the half. They were up 2-1, and they just could not figure out how to break down this Cape Verde team. After they scored the draw. Beto, take us through the match.
yeah. I mean, this was a really great performance by Cape Verde and a really bad performance by I feel like Uruguay. I mean that first goal. I mean, not that free kick. I mean, it was a banger, but I mean, like I think Matt, you said something right. Like, what are they doing?
Yeah,
Like,
the
setting
wall
up that wall.
just
Like, what?
Mhm.
And then,
The
literally
wall confused the hell out of me.
yeah,
What
literally
are they
wall just
doing?
opened up. They jumped and just went apart, and they
yeah,
just went down the middle of them. All they
yeah,
had to do was, even if they didn't jump, they were better off not jumping.
yeah. And the second goal, also a mistake. I mean, just I don't know. This is like a lapse in
It was
judgment.
a throw in for
Yeah, yeah,
Uruguay. Passes it to I forgot who, one of the center backs, and the center backs just has like a bad touch on it.
yeah.
Muslera tries to keep to
Why is the
catch
keeper
it.
out so far though? Also on that one, what is he doing? Like Marcelo's like what 38, 37? Like you're not. Or he's 40. No, he's 40. It's like you're not that fast. Like who do you
Yeah,
think you are chasing that ball down? Like stay in your box and because I feel like in the match replay when I saw it, the defender had it caught up almost to the guy that shot it. So like if you're the goalie, you stay back. Your defender's gonna catch up, and that's not a goal. So like that's just like another blunder on their end.
yeah, no, for sure. I think that Uruguay is definitely playing with fire.
Yeah,
They are playing with fire here. That leaves the group with Spain 4 points, Uruguay 2 points, Cape Verde 2 points, and Saudi Arabia 1 point. I think mathematically the group is still alive, but I think from what's actually going to happen, it's pretty dead. Uruguay versus Spain, round 3 fixtures. I think Spain comes out and gets the job done. Ultimately, I think they are playing for first and second, because
yeah,
the Cape Verde and Saudi Arabia team. I don't think either of the third place gets out here, but Uruguay versus Spain. I think Spain kind of understands what their starting 11 is. I think, like Beto said, that the bench is not looking great, but as not if their starting 11 players could get it done, I think that they can obviously get a little far. The problem comes in when you need to bring in those players off the bench. They're not looking great. Give me a Spain wins 2-1 versus Uruguay.
Yeah, I
Beto,
agree the same thing. I said 2-1 Spain.
2-1 Spain. Beta.
this is gonna be Spain's like first real challenge. I feel like this Uruguay is gonna be the team to test them. Um, this might also be Lamine Yamal's first match where he plays maybe the whole match. If Spain get away early, De La Fuente's gonna take him out. They don't want to risk him. He's gonna
Mhm.
make some subs, but this is gonna be their first real test, and I believe in Spain. They'll get it done still, but Uruguay is not gonna make it easy on them. They're not a team to be slept on. They have a good defense. They have a formidable midfield, and they have talent up top that just not being used correctly, or just not living up to their expectation. So I think for me, Spain wins it like 3-1.
Okay. 3-1 Spain. All right, then that takes us over to Cape Verde versus Saudi Arabia. I think this is going to be overall an irrelevant match. I don't think third place gets out. Well, actually, they might. If Cape Verde wins,
If either team wins, they probably go through because Saudi Arabia is going to be on 4 points if they win.
Yeah,
So I think
I guess that's true. Yeah, because they get whoever wins it. Oh, it's only irrelevant if they get a draw. I think if
think
both
it's
teams draw, I don't think
yeah.
it matters.
I think it's entirely possible Uruguay loses and Cape Verde wins, and Cape Verde is the one that gets second place in this group.
yeah,
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I think the Cape Verde Saudi Arabia match is actually extremely important. Whoever wins this game will very likely get second place because Uruguay is probably not going to beat Spain. So I
yeah.
think both teams are going to go for this big time, and this may be the match of the round if that makes sense. This may be the best match of round 3. I mean, this is the kind of stuff that if you're like a true international sicko, you love this shit. You look forward to a game like this. And I'm gonna be sitting there with my popcorn, my feet up. I'm gonna be enjoying every second of this match. And it's so tough to call who I think is gonna win, but I think Saudi Arabia might just have a little bit more quality to get it done. I'm gonna go with a 2-1 win for Saudi Arabia.
2-1 for Saudi Arabia. Beto, what do you got?
I'm gonna support the little guy here. I feel like Cape Verde, they've shown us that they can do it. They did it against Spain. They did it against Uruguay. Why not do it against Saudi Arabia, a team that's on paper worse than the two teams they already drew against? But then again, Cape Verde, they need a draw or they need a win here. Specifically, they need a win if they want to go in to that second place spot, like you said, because we all know that or we all agree that Spain will beat Uruguay, and Uruguay's at 2 points, and Cape Verde is also at 2 points. And so if Cape Verde can get away with the win, they go to 5 and they go second place here, and that would be really huge for them.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I think Cape Verde, they win here 1-0 against Saudi Arabia.
All right. That takes us over then to Group I. We got France, Norway, Senegal, and Iraq. Starting us off with France 3-0 versus Iraq. Quick note on that match. That match went into halftime 1-0 with France winning from a banger from Mbappe, by the way. Top of the box on his weak foot. But then once we went into the half, there was a big, I think it was a total of like a 2-hour delay to get that match back
Yeah,
on, or because of the thunderstorms that were happening over in Philly.
yeah,
Players came out then later and warmed back up, and France did not miss a beat. They went out and they got two more. For that second goal, that 54th minute goal was a mistake from the Iraq defender. Tried to pass it over to his comrade in from a goal kick. He took the goal kick, passed it over to the keeper, but keeper was in fucking Lululand over here just staring off, and Dembele comes in, taps it over to Mbappe, puts it in a platter for him, and Mbappe puts it away. But then Dembele ends up getting his goal anyway, so ends up 3-0 France. What we expected, honestly. Nothing new there.
yeah.
Yeah, I thought this game was a little bit irrelevant, to be honest. France were always going to win; they were never in danger of losing. So, 3-0 win about sums it up perfectly. Not much to talk about here.
Yeah,
Yeah, agreed.
one thing I want to mention is there was not much rotation, though. They did not rotate much coming into this match. We thought there'd be a little bit more of a rotated team in, but no. It looked almost exactly like their starting 11 from the first match. All right. Then that takes us over to the Norway versus Senegal game. Ends 3-2, but that was a hell of a match.
That was a banger.
Yeah, it was. We got we got two from Holland. Holland's once again said, Mbappe, I see your two, and I match your two. So they are tied in this goal for goal match that they're having against each other, and it's great to see. Senegal at the end were bringing it to them. If I remember correctly, Norway dominated like the first half, and then the second half kind of didn't go much Senegal's way. About like the 85th minute is when they started kind of just bombing things forward, seeing what happens, seeing if they could get anything going, and then Sarr gets a goal in the 93rd minute. So brought a little bit of life into them. I think a total was like 6 minutes at a time. So there was like 3 minutes where they thought that they could still bring it back and draw the match. But no, I think that ends up with Senegal being eliminated. Nope,
Technically
technically
not.
not.
They
Technically
do
not.
need a very large win against Iraq, though.
Yeah. Okay. So then that's 3-2 Norway versus Senegal. Beto.
I
Game.
mean, this game was really good. I mean, it was Holland bullying Koulibaly for the majority of the match.
First goal comes from a Koulibaly mistake, by the way.
Yeah. Yeah, he had a stinker performance in Holland. I mean, just he's a beast, man. Like he's gonna score. Like if he's in the box and he has a chance, and you give him an inch where you're not marking him, he's gonna score. And he like you said, he's keeping up in that race with Mbappe and Messi and all the other names we talked about today. And I don't know, man, just something about Holland and the World Cup. It's looking nice.
Yeah. All right. That takes over round 3 fixtures. We got Norway versus France. Both on 6 points. I think this is going to be a pretty good game. I think France might rotate a little bit, not much. Deschamps left the France training camp and went to go say goodbye to his mother. So prayers up to the family, and
Yeah, prayers
hopefully
out.
everything gets better for him. Norway versus France. I think France ultimately wins this game. I think Holland still gets his goal, and I think we get to see the Holland versus Mbappe match. Who
Yep.
gets more in this match? But I think ultimately France's team is going to be too great for Norway, and a 3-1 France win.
I'll go 2-1 France. I mean, Holland literally said after the Senegal game that they were going to lose against France. So
Mhm.
I believe him. Go ahead and give me 2-1 France.
Give me a 2-2 draw with Mbappe brace and Holland brace.
You love cinema, huh? All
Mm-hmm.
right, and then that takes us over to Senegal versus Iraq. I think that this game still has some weight to it. Senegal has to win by a hefty amount of goals in order for there to be any chance that they make it through as a third place team. I think they'll go out. They'll try to get the goals, but ultimately, I think they come short and just get a 2-0 win here.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be enough for Senegal. I think they're going to not score as many goals as they need. And then 3 points with that goal difference that they have, it's not going to be good enough.
Yeah. Beto.
Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of sad to see them crash out this way, but if somehow they can get it done, then let's see if they can figure it
Yeah.
out. I don't know. I mean, I'm rooting for them to win by at least 3.
Yeah. All right, and then we go over to Group J. Again, I want to take a quick pause. We have some live pictures from the stadium shared from somebody, a viewer. Got to see the goat. Um,
Not to go.
the goat on the big screen. I think they sent me the penalty that he from the other one, but that's last week, anyways. So thank you for sharing those. And let's get into it. Argentina 2-0 over Austria. Messi gets his goal. Me and Matt kind of went over this match. We did a live react on it, so it was great to see. Beto, I'll let you kind of give your point on anything you'd like to mention on this match.
I mean, what else is there to say besides Messi? I mean, he's on the team. He's getting fed the ball. He's getting chances, and teams keep doing it. You literally you gotta mark him. If you give him a chance, you give him an opening, he's gonna score. So I mean, not much else to say besides the goat. I mean, he's playing, he's gonna score.
The goat.
Had a stinker pen, but it happens to the best of us. We've seen everybody miss him. So
Yeah.
For sure.
All right, and then we got Jordan and versus Algeria. Algeria ends up getting the win 2-1. I think for standings, it's great for Algeria. They still have an opportunity then to go in and play versus Austria,
yep,
and winner gets second place in
yep,
that match. So that's going to be a good one to watch.
yeah.
Jordan, unfortunately, doesn't seem like there's any chance left for them to get out of this group. Actually, mathematically, no, right? They unless they get a third place,
They win by a
three
lot of
points,
goals.
they have to get 3 points and score a ton of goals. So they're out of here.
They have lost to both Austria and Algeria, so they cannot overtake
Hmm.
either of them.
Yeah, so they're out of here. But Argentina versus Jordan, I think Argentina rotates their team a little bit here, and they come out still with a win. Give me a 2-0 win versus Jordan. Beto.
Yeah, no, they're gonna close it out comfortably. I think Argentina's gonna win like 2-3-0.
Yeah, I'll do the same thing. I think Argentina rotates their team, but it's still too much quality for Jordan. Go ahead and give me 2-0. Yeah, I think Algeria Austria is setting up to be a really entertaining match. I think Austria has more quality and defensive structure to be able to deal with Algeria's attack. I think Algeria looked pretty poor against Jordan for times, but at the same time they had a lot of possession, but they weren't really doing a whole lot with it. But I think Austria will win 2-1 over Algeria.
I kind of believe more in Algeria, so I think Algeria wins this like 2-0.
Yeah, no, I think I'm leaning more on Beto's side. I know I think Austria will win the match, but I think Algeria might just have a little bit more heart and might have just enough to get it done and get the 3 points. Give me give me an Algeria win here, to get him that second place. All right, moving on to Group K: Portugal, Colombia, District of Congo, and Uzbekistan. Portugal win 5-0 against Uzbekistan. Cristiano Ronaldo comes in and shows out, scoring 2 goals. And after he scored his first one, you kind of see him murmuring, "I'm back, I'm back." He got in the score line, and that's great to see from him. Nuno Mendes got his from a free kick. I thought the Bicho was going to take it. I didn't think he was going to let him have it.
Tricked everyone.
It was obviously a better position for Nuno Mendes, but I thought that he was just going to take it and give us a classic Cristiano Ronaldo fly over the crossbar by 20 yards and call it a day. But no, he gives it to Nuno Mendes, and then I think we got an own goal in that match.
Kusanov had an
Yep.
own goal.
And that takes Ronaldo to break the record and score in 6 World Cups, being the only player to ever do it. We'll see how long this record stands for. Anything you lads would like to mention?
Nah, Ronaldo just farms up on terrible teams like he usually does. So
Yep.
5-0, good result for Portugal though.
Yeah, Portugal got done, and Ronaldo, like we've seen before, people saying online, he found his level. I guess 50th ranked team in the world is what it took for him to score. So hopefully he can keep scoring.
Right. Then that takes us to Colombia versus District of Congo. It took Colombia till the 76th minute to get their one goal to beat the Congo. The Congo was back there defending like their life depended on it, and they tried their hardest, man. They tried. There was 2 goals from Luis Diaz that were overall taken out because brother cannot understand the offside rule.
Yeah, I think they were in
Um,
the span of like 3 minutes apart from each other too.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
he scored one, gets called back. He scores another one, gets called back, and man, it's tough.
Yeah, he almost had a third too, but
Mhm.
I was at that point. I was like, he's gonna score a hat trick of offside goals, bro. Fuck. Um, Overall, it was an entertaining watch. I think Congo had their plan. They're coming out. They're gonna sit back and try to hit him on the counter. But ultimately, once you saw that the Congo was trying to kind of bring the match to them, is when they fell, because then on the counterattack, Luis Diaz's his pace is just too much for them. But Colombia ends up getting the win, and so that is them with the 3 points. Beto, any quick points on this one?
No, I mean, you guys pretty much covered everything. I mean, I think a player we need to start highlighting is Daniel Munoz. He's been playing really good for Colombia. He's 2 goals in 2 games, right back, and I guess he's finding the right runs. He's making those runs from the right back all the way up to the top of the field,
Yeah.
and he's getting chances. So good on him.
All right, that leaves the standings with Colombia 6 points in this group, Portugal 4, District of Congo 1, and Uzbekistan 0. That leaves us with Colombia versus Portugal. First place versus second place. Winner take all.
Yeah.
Colombia is through on points. Obviously, they are not gonna not make it out of this group, but seeding is what they're playing for here at this point. Whoever wins this match gets seeded best. I think Portugal comes out and they struggle against this match. I think Colombia will ultimately has too much heart, too much passion to lose this match. I think Colombia will end up upsetting Portugal. Give me a 2-1 win from Colombia over Portugal.
I'll go with a 1-1 draw.
Nothing in there, huh? All right,
No.
Beto.
I think Portugal takes it here. I think Portugal wins comfortably, like 2 or 3-0.
2 or 3-0. All right, and then we have Congo versus Uzbekistan. Give me the District of Congo. Congo comes in and just does enough and gets a 1-1 versus Uzbekistan.
So yeah, I think Democratic Republic of Congo. I think they look okay. Give me DRC to beat Uzbekistan 2-0. I think they'll make it out in 4 points.
I don't know. I'm kind of leaning more towards Uzbekistan. I think they're gonna try to fight to get their one World Cup win, and I don't know if it's gonna be enough to move on, but I think they're not gonna go home empty-handed. I feel like so.
That leads us to the last group, Group L. We have England versus Croatia, Ghana, and Panama.
Mm-hmm.
England draw 0-0 versus Ghana. The witch doctors
Harry
have done
Kane
it.
is cursed.
Harry Kane is cursed. He missed a sitter.
Yeah,
an absolute sitter. He had it and he missed it, and my fantasy team fucking hurts from it. But he did it. He
Add that
missed
to the
it.
list of Harry Kane moonballs at World Cups and major tournaments.
yeah.
But Ghana gets a point from this match. I'm sure they're happy with the result. That leaves the group after that with 4-4. Their match 4-4, and then Croatia gets 3 points and Panama with 0. I think England just got exposed so badly here. They could not show up. They could not get the job done. And that is unfortunate. Even though they dominated possession with 79% of it,
Mm-hmm.
they had the ball. they had the opportunities to do something, they just couldn't get it done.
Yeah, I
Matt.
thought the referee in this game was atrocious. The referee was terrible. He couldn't figure out what he wanted to give a
Hmm.
foul, not give a foul. He couldn't figure out if he wanted to let the lads play or if he, the no consistency here. Jude Bellingham covering his mouth and no red card. VAR didn't step in on that. And then I don't know how in the world that Ghana did not get a penalty. I can't remember which player it was, but the Ghanaian player runs into the box and he's just fly tackled by the England defender and totally wiped out. I don't know how the ref doesn't give that a penalty. I don't know how VAR doesn't give that a penalty. Ghana should have definitely had a penalty in this match. I think England were obviously controlling for the match, but they were lucky to not at least concede a goal. So, yeah, I think referee, go ahead and hang your head in shame, lad. Hopefully you don't get any more matches in the World Cup because that was terrible. But I think England will be fine. England historically don't do very well in the second matches of major tournaments for some reason. They'll
Hmm.
be fine. They'll beat Panama. Panama are eliminated, so England will still win the group. But Ghana on 4 points, I think, is better than I thought that they would do going into this tournament. So
Yeah.
Ghana will look to see themselves into the knockout rounds, and then I think Croatia will also probably beat them on the final day. So I think Croatia will end up being the ones that get the second place spot, but ultimately Ghana will still have consider this a good tournament getting out of the group.
Yeah, so then that takes over to Croatia versus Panama. Croatia get the job done with 1-0 over Panama. Luka Modric makes his 200th international appearance, becoming only the fourth player in the men's international football history to reach that milestone after Ronaldo, Mutawa, and Messi. So love to see that for him. Let's see. That takes us over to Panama versus England. Like Matt said, England will get the job done. Panama's already eliminated, so Panama are just playing for pride. England get this job done. Give me the 3 points going to England.
Yeah, likewise.
Beto.
England's gonna get it done. I mean, I think what happened against Ghana, Ghana just played, to their strengths and England's weaknesses, and it showed. So England's gonna beat Panama.
Yeah, go ahead and give me Croatia 1-0. Ghana looked terrible going forwards. I think Croatia still has enough to get by them. So yeah, 1-0 Croatia.
No Croatia. Beto.
I think Ghana could beat Croatia here. I think if they play the way they against England and then capitalize on their chances. If England could unlock the Ghanaian defense, I don't know if Croatia can. So I think Ghana has a good chance here. Give me Ghana winning by 1.
Fair.
Give me an absolute stinker of a match. Give me a 0-0 Croatia versus Ghana. I think there won't be much goals in this one. Both teams are struggling to score. I think it'll end up with Ghana getting second place just because of the draw. And that is it. That is all we have time for. Thank you all for watching and tuning in to the third episode of the UMB Footy Podcast. Thank you everybody for the support, the comments, the notes, the recommendations and such. So thank you. What is your prediction of who's going to finish top goal scorer? Will it be Messi? Will it be Mbappe? Holland? Who else is in it? Undev, I think.
Jonathan David.
Jonathan David's there. There's somebody else that's tied. There's a lot of players actually tied with 3 goals. So we'll see who ends it. Give us your prediction. Who do you think is going to win? Thank you all for tuning in. Have a good rest of your day, night, afternoon.
See you guys.